Hi there, welcome to the Christmas edition, as you can see, of the Helen Wycherley Restoration Project. We were supposed to be making a video of installing the first piece of wood that we've bent and cut onto Helen, but that didn't happen. So anyway, before we get started, if you like this content, click on the notifications, subscribe button, gives a huge thumbs up. It all helps the channel. As I said, I was trying to fit the stern end of the deck boards. We had the wood cut, we had it made already here in the workshop. Took it down to go and fit, and arrived at the boat, and so yeah, we got to the boat and the storm hit, and literally the shelter disintegrated, flew away with the wind, literally. And we've got nothing left. Now, as you know, I've repaired this shelter 3-4 times, and there's nothing left of it. So what I've had to do, as you guys have probably known on my Facebook page, put a big shout out for help to get a shelter for Helen, because if the water gets into her. So what we need to do, we need to get a shelter, a new shelter, put over Helen, and keep out all the weather so we can continue with the works. It was looking like the project was coming to a serious halt. We had quotations from scaffolding companies that wanted £5,000 plus to put a shelter over Helen, which is way out of our budget. So I put a post on Facebook, and we've had one of our followers, Mark Rhines. He has, believe it or not, a Watson 46-foot lifeboat in a polytunnel. So he's invited us down tomorrow to go and have a look at this polytunnel, which we can get to fit over Helen. You know, the timing of that has been perfect. It must have meant to be. We have got pictures, I'll show in a minute, of the shelter. So yeah, we've got a big hole in our budget because we've had to buy a new shelter. Now this shelter is costing in the region of £2,000. So as you know, the shelter is going to cost £2,000. A big hole in our budget just at the crucial time. So so what we're looking for, if any of you guys, our fellow YouTubers, supporters, would like to donate something towards the purchase of this shelter to keep us on the go, to keep this project moving on, it would be grateful if you would go over to the GoFundMe page and give whatever you can. So this is a big hole out of our budget. One anticipating this, we've already spent over £1,000 already on that shelter, which literally blew away with the wind. So big shout to Mark Rhines. We're going to see him tomorrow, and he's got a project as well under the way, which hopefully we'll be showing on the video of us seeing the shelter and having a look. But in the meantime, please head over to that GoFundMe page and donate a little bit. It all helps, and hopefully we can purchase this shelter and keep Helen project ongoing. We've got some pics. We didn't take the video camera. It's a good job we didn't take the video, because I think we would all have ended up in the harbour. We got to the boat and we got woke up 3 o'clock in the morning with the mighty crack, bang and wallop, as you should expect, and we was greeted with this. So we got outside, and then it was howling and howling and howling and howling, and the whole shelter was dancing like it was in midair. And then we had this. And this. And to top it off, that. So we couldn't do anything, the wind was that strong. Daylight broke, and we was left with that, and not forgetting that. So luckily we didn't end up in the harbour, but everything else did. So now we've done what we had to do to make it safe, and that's what we're left with. As you can see, the sanding has been done, but unfortunately Helen is now left open to the elements with no protection on the wood, etc, etc. So it's really imperative that we get this shelter off our fellow supporters and followers to get over the top of Helen and make her watertight so the works can continue. So a lot of things have been happening since the last video. We've been into the workshop, we've cut wood, we've shaped it, we've had the router, we've got the router out, we've shaped a piece of wood. I'd like to show you it, but it's in the van. Well, Mark's been on the boat and we've done the sanding. We're into now taking the outer deck beams off, ready for workshop duties. So what we're going to do then, we're going to take all the wood back and make it here before we go back up to Helen and install it when we do a new shelter. And that's another little different topic. So yeah, we've been in the workshop working ourselves away, been in contact with some suppliers, the paint supplier, Earl's Paints. Spoke with them, and they are going to obviously be supplying our paint, just giving us an update of what's going on, what's happening. And so yeah, we've done this wood. We was going to go up and install it and see if it fit, but it all went disastrous. It all went so wrong. We both ended up in the harbour. It could have been a lot more dramatic and serious than it was. Luckily the wind was blowing harbour side, so everything blew into the harbour. It didn't blow into the car park, it didn't blow or hit anybody or hit any cars. So the damage was down to a minimal, apart from we've got no shelter at all, as you'll see from the photos. So what we've got to do now, all the work has got to stop. We've had to remove all the items off the deck, etc, to make it safe. We have got a shelter to go and look at. I think I'll be speaking about that later on in the video. Tomorrow, so that's going to be another video of us going down, seeing what's going on, see if she fits. There is a Watson in there at the moment, so we can see what sort of size and room we've got round her. So then we're going to purchase that. Hopefully with your guys' donations and support, we'll be able to get it all sorted, get it transported then from the west coast to the east coast. Literally from one side of the UK to the other, that way to that way. So that's a big transport logistical operation we've got to do, because this shelter is not small. It's 56 foot long, 18 foot high and 18 foot wide, and a section every metre. So we're going to need quite big transport, we're going to need big vehicles. Fortunately we've got a couple of vans and roof racks, but I don't think that's going to be enough to get the whole of the materials over to Whitby, so it looks like we might have to ask a transport company or haulage company to take it over for us yet again, more cost, which we didn't envisage seeing. So the last few days have been really soul destroying, thinking what we're going to do next, what's going to happen. And fortunately we found a shelter. If it wasn't for the case, I really don't know what we would have done. So a big shout out yet again to Mark. We're going to see you soon. So I had a few comments on Facebook about people wishing to lend a hand. Now when we get this shelter, we would love to have all hands on deck. This is going to be a huge shelter. It's going to take a few people to actually put it together. Me and Mark on our own, there's no way we're going to be able to accomplish that task with the sheeting, with the metal framework, etc, etc. So I'm going to put it on Facebook when we're going to be looking at getting there, and it'd be great if you guys could come along and lend an hour, a couple of hours. It'd be great. I'm sure we could get the coffee on the go and have a whale of a time. It all helps the project. So I hope you like that little catch up. Unfortunately, it's not the video that I wanted to be doing, but we've got an adventure to do tomorrow looking at this shelter. So we'll see how it goes. What's meant to be is meant to be. So I hope you like this content. It's not really a great deal of content, it's just me going help. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, hit on the notifications, gives us a huge thumbs up, and wait until the next adventure, because everything is a learning curve on this project.